So very welcome to everybody to the introduction to the MOOC course on poverty indicators and their comparisons in the European Union. This course will describe the process of construction of multidimensional indicators of poverty at regional and sub-regional level and the mapping of the results. Knowledge on the spatial distribution of poverty in Europe is very important for many stakeholders, say policymakers, researchers, students and citizens. And I'm convinced that the tools used in the course should be in the toolbox of every student in economics and statistics. This is the main reason why we have decided to organize this MOOC in the JAMO Nature on small area methods for multidimensional poverty and living conditions. And the opening of the course to a wide audience will increase the statistical literacy of the stakeholders and allow them to do more meaningful comparisons between the values of the indicators in different regions and of different member states. The content of the course is based on the research experience as a team involved in the last 10 years together in projects funded by the European Commission on small area estimation, well-being and poverty indicators, both under FP7 and H2020 framework. The course is composed by 3 modules. This is why we are so many here. The first on the definition of multidimensional indicators, the second on the European surveys and the estimates for the indicators at country level and at the regional level, and the third on the small area estimation and the regional and sub-regional mapping of the poverty indicators values. Each of these modules is taught by experts in the field and researchers of the Department of Economics and Management of the University of Pisa and also of other universities who make research with us on these topics. The preparation of the students will be assessed by quizzes at the end of each module, but each module will be also provided by a laboratory done with our software, and we will illustrate so each of the methodology presented by case studies. So Vincenzo Mauro is in charge of introducing the first module on multidimensional indicators and on Zaekel indicators. Please, could you, in a few words, present it?
Thank you, Monica. Yes, the idea behind this module lies in the fact that there's a general agreement in the scientific community about the fact that key concepts like poverty, well-being and living condition are multidimensional. And so there's a need to introduce and understand methods in order to deal with this multidimensionality. In this module we will deal with different steps of the aggregation of various important indicators, and we will focus especially on the assumptions and the properties that each of these steps induce in an explicit and sometimes also implicit way. The idea is to try to link in a practical way the data that are harmonized at a European Union level with a theoretical sound background in order to understand again how this approach can be used in an effective way. The module will be taught with the help of Professor Christian Moravit.
Many thanks, Vincenzo. So after the theoretical background, we need to face with survey data and to make inference with them. So please, Linda and Caterina, would you introduce the second module of the course?
Yes, thanks. In our module, we introduce the definition of official statistics and the definition of Laken indicators. Laken indicators are a set of statistical common indicators coming from European Council in 2001, and they are composed by the set of indicators covering a range of themes of vital importance for a nation, such as the employment and quality of life, and the poverty, a set of poverty indicators. Lacan indicators coming from mainly survey data, and so we can define the survey data and the importance and methodology needed to approach survey data.
Yes, for example, nowadays the MOOC survey or the household budget survey are used to compute the Lacan indicators for each of the European country. So in our module we will introduce students to the formulas that can be used to compute the indicators of interest at the country level. Since to compute this indicator we use survey data, it is important to use the sampling weights so that the indicators refer, for example, to all the households living in a given country. In some cases, we will be able to apply the formulas also to obtain the estimates referring to regions of the same country. And the other important thing is that we will accompany each of the estimates with the measures of their accuracy, because of course we need to take into account the variability in the survey data. And this is very important, and it's a focus also of our module.
Yes, because having accurate estimates is fundamental in order to map poverty and have significant values. So, Stefano, not always we have enough sample size, so we need to deepen the methodology to solve this small area estimation problem, and this is done in Module 3.
Yes. Module 3 we talk about specific estimation methods to apply when the number of sample households are too few or even zero in a region or sub-region. They give model-based estimates obtained specifying a statistical model to link the Lacan indicators to auxiliary variables known for the regions of interest. In the case of poverty rates, auxiliary information can be, for example, the percentage of taxpayer, the average taxable income, the average household size, and so on, and many other possible auxiliary variables. And here we teach the area level models as we think that auxiliary information be commonly easy to have at regional level. There are also unit level models specific for each household. But for implementing these models, maybe the information is not always accessible. The results are poverty maps at regional or sub-regional level in the member state.
So many thanks. So coming to case studies and our lab, Francesco Schirripa and Gaia Bertarelli, would you introduce the students to this module, to these labs?
Yes, there is a lab session for each module where the contents will be applied to pseudo dataset obtained from the main European surveys.
Yes, and the proposed dataset will follow the format of the surveys, so in that way the students could download the code and make practice on the data.
So, great. It seems a big amount of work, and it is, but we offer you in the hope of doing a service to the community and improving European studies and the possibilities of comparing results across Europe. So this is our intent, and we wish you a big experience, and please enjoy it. Thanks a lot.